Well, it's official. There's a new Disney castle that's dropping here on July 1st. The question that you're probably asking is, should I continue to hold on to my investment sets of the 71040, the Disney castle that retired here at the end of 2022? We're going to answer that question in this video, so stay tuned. Here we go. LEGO is famous for doing this, and it's become more consistent over the last several years that LEGO takes a set that's extremely popular, they retire it, and then they re-release it. Sometimes it's a shot-for-shot remake. Sometimes they release a LEGO set that's just a little bit different with a few additional pieces, sometimes additional minifigures, and it makes it really difficult to invest in LEGO sets because you never really know what's coming. And to be honest, it makes me and this channel look a little foolish sometimes because I released a list at the end of 2022, my top 10 LEGO sets for retiring here at the end of the year. On the first list, I had the Disney castle somewhere near the top 5 or top 3, and they released an updated list towards the end of 2022, and I claimed that this set right here would be the #1 LEGO set for investing in the year 2022. Now, that's obviously not going to be the case anymore because like I said in that video, if we don't have another re-release, then it'll be awesome, but here we are. The question that we need to answer today in this video is, what does that mean for the investment potential of the 71040? So I actually have 4 of these. I started with 6 of them at the end of 2022, and I sold a couple of them for a quick profit near the beginning of 2023 for $550 and $600 respectively, which I was pretty proud of that return on investment. But I did make note that if this set didn't experience a re-release, I would have anticipated it by this Christmas or the following Christmas to be worth anywhere from $700, $800, maybe even pushing $1,000 for such an iconic LEGO set. But as is the risk with all investments, we got a brand new Disney castle. The set is 43222, and the gift that we have if you did invest in the 71040 is it's not a shot-for-shot remake. Historically, with sets like the NASA Saturn V and several others, what they've done is they've re-released the exact same LEGO set with a brand new box number. That's not what they did here in this case. They made some slight adjustments, added a few more pieces, and have some additional minifigures. So let's start by doing this. Let's compare the two. The first being the 71040. This set is awesome. I mean, it's always been awesome. It's been awesome since the day that it was released. I believe it was on the market for 5 or 6 years, which is a relatively long shelf life. But even because it was on the market for such a long time, I thought just based on the iconic nature of this LEGO set, it would do incredible for investing. And based on the initial price jump, it had the legs to do so. Let's compare it to the brand new 43222. So the 71040 has the gold top. It has tan accents throughout the entirety of the castle. You've got the pillars here are a dark blue shade. And then down here, you've got light bluish gray with some sticker pieces all throughout. The minifigures that are included, 5 unique to this set, are Tinkerbell, Minnie, Mickey, Daisy, and Donald Duck. So iconic characters from the Disney theme. This set, great, awesome. 4,080 pieces, was retailed for $350 before it retired here in the US, was going to be a great investment. Let's compare it now to the 43222. So the 43222 Disney castle, at the bottom of it, it doesn't look like it's light bluish gray, but it looks like we've got some different shade of blue, not light bluish gray or dark bluish gray. It might end up being light bluish gray, but from what I can tell based on a comparison between this one and the 71040, the bottom looks like a completely different brick built color, which is good. That's a good thing that we have that much variance. And then if you go up the castle, you see that the caps are no longer dark blue, but a lighter medium color blue. The gold accents are pretty similar to the 71040, but what's different is the peachish pink color that you see that goes all the way up the castle. The 71040 having a tan that is the main building color up to the tall tower, and then the tower being gold, which is very similar. The thing that I love about the 43222 is you've got the fireworks that connect, that are shooting off. Compared to on the 71040, you could like launch the little tiny pieces to pretend you're shooting the fireworks, but this one are more exploding fireworks. Of course, these are the same castles, just with an updated paint job. They're Cinderella's castle, the one that's in Disney World, Florida. But the thing that makes this set significantly different than its predecessor, the 71040, is the 8 unique minifigures. This set includes Rapunzel, Flynn Rider, Tiana, Prince Naveen, Cinderella, Prince Charming, and then Snow White and Prince Ferdinand. 8 brand new unique minifigures to this specific Lego set, which makes it extremely desirable for investing. But that's not the question we're answering. With these unique minifigures compared to the original 5 in the 71040, what does that mean? Here's what that means. That means if you want to pick up the original 5 minifigures, the only way to get them is to buy them individually on the secondary market or to buy set 71040. Other than the color difference and the minifigures, the new set, the 43222 Disney Castle, has about 700 to 800 additional pieces, 4,827 to be exact. The retail price is $400 in the US. But comparing the price per piece and the additional minifigures and a brand new color variant, like $50 more is not that significant of a price hike. So if we're looking at all these factors, okay, so we've got the same castle, different color variants, different price, and different minifigures. What does that mean? Is the 71040 worth it to hold on to investing, or should you liquidate your inventory now? Unfortunately, I don't really know how to answer that question for you. I'm going to give you my personal thoughts and my personal speculation on how I think the 71040 is going to do for investing. I think it's different enough. And I think that helps. Are we going to have a slower return on investment than we would have if we didn't have the newer Disney Castle? Of course we are. I would imagine that set would have gotten up to $650 by this Christmas. But that's going to slow it down because any new Lego collector or someone that wants to buy a Disney Castle is definitely going to shell out the additional $50 for the new one. I'm going to be hard pressed to find anyone wanting to pay $50 or $100 over the price of the new one to get the old one. The only people that are going to want the old one are those that want to collect those specific 5 Disney minifigures and those that want to have both castles. Most people only need one Disney castle as part of their collection. But Lego fans and Disney enthusiasts are crazy. So I think, maybe I'm going to be over speculative here, there are going to be more people that want to display both castles side by side than we originally anticipate. I think a lot of people are fearful. I see a lot of people listing their 71040 Disney castles, some of them taking a loss or barely making any profit margin, selling them just to cover the cost of the original. And that's probably going to happen over the next several months, specifically while the 43222 is released. But if we're looking at this Christmas into next Christmas, I would anticipate the inventory of this set is going to slowly be bought up by collectors that want both castles and want these minifigures. So that means this set will slowly appreciate in value. This Christmas, probably going to be worth about $425 to $450. Next Christmas, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the set worth about $500. If you're selling the set on eBay at $500 and you paid $350, you are not making a ton of profit. And of course, the 43222 is limiting the investment potential initially. But like all sets, they will retire. And at some point, the 43222 Disney Castle will retire. Let's dive into the closest example that I can find between these two Lego sets. So a similar example we can look at is the Lego UCS Death Star. In 2008, we had the $400 UCS Death Star that was released. This set was amazing. It was the first Death Star we had received after the older Death Star 2 from 2004. Collectors were crazy about this Lego set. It included 24 minifigures. I can't remember specifically how many were unique at the time, but currently this set only has 4 unique minifigures that are unique to this specific Lego set. But it was awesome, and it included 3,800 pieces. And lots of UCS collectors and Star Wars collectors got their hands on this Lego set. But nobody anticipated how long this Lego set was going to be on the market. Most speculated 2 to 3 years. It showed up on several speculative retiring lists over its lifespan. But when it was all said and done, this Lego set was on the market for 7 years. It retired in 2015, one of the longest Lego sets to exist on the shelves of all time, which investors were pained about. The longer a set exists on the shelves usually diminishes its potential return on investment. But eventually, in 2015, it retired. And Lego collectors and investors rejoiced everywhere. Finally, we're going to get a return on investment on our UCS Death Star. But what did Lego do? In 2016, they released a brand new, improved version of the UCS Death Star. Adding just under 200 additional pieces, 3 more minifigures, and a $100 price hike, they dropped the 75159 UCS Death Star for $500, which just devastated Lego investors of the original UCS Death Star, the 10188. There was no market for the original one. There were only a couple unique minifigures, and the newer one had a better price point. The 10188 did appreciate in value. It got up to about $425 to $450. But it could not eclipse the $500 mark, because most collectors that were going to drop $500 on a Lego set were going to get the new and improved version with more pieces and more minifigures. The 75159 still has 9 unique minifigures that are part of it. So if we're looking at these two, right? The 75159, released in 2016, retired 3 to 4 years after in 2020. And then eventually, you got to see an incredible price increase from both of those Lego sets respectively. The 75159 is now worth anywhere from $1,100 to $1,200 on the secondary market, and the 10188 is worth anywhere from $700 to $900. A significant price jump for both of those Lego sets, which have now returned at least 100% return on investment, which is crazy for larger, expensive Lego sets. But the 75159, the newer, more expensive version with more minifigures, has trended better. So what does that mean? Does that mean this is the 10188 Death Star? You can't say these examples are apples to apples, right? They're not exactly the same. But it does make me concerned that this set will be less popular than the newer version. If in 3 and 4 years, the 43222 newer Disney Castle does in fact retire, this set will get its day. It'll eventually be worth $600, $650, maybe $700. But the problem is it only has 5 figures. 5 which I hope stay unique to this set. It is different. I would say that the UCS Death Star build experience was almost exactly the same. Because we have a color variant and the castles do look slightly different, that doesn't mean that it's going to be the exact same story for the 2 Death Stars as we have to the Disney castles, but I do think that it is going to be a similar story. If you had to ask me which one do I think will be a better investment, today I would probably have to tell you the 43222. More minifigures, a slightly better color variant, and man, that set just looks and builds incredible. But they're slightly different. So time will tell. It's going to be based on a lot of factors. How long is 43222 going to be on the market? Are those minifigures going to stay unique to that set? Will they release them in other Disney sets? We can't make an accurate judgment on the newer Disney Castle at this point, but using the 2 Death Stars as an example, that's where I would anticipate it to trend. So if we're coming back to this video, say 6 years from now, 6 years from now, let's say the 43222 set has been retired for 2 years, and then the 71040 has been retired for 6 years. If you had to pin me on an answer, I would say the 71040 would be worth about $700, and the 43222 could be worth anywhere from $900 to $1,000. So that one is ultimately going to have the better return on investment. So that begs the question that you need to answer for yourself. If you invested in 1, 2, 10, or 100 of these 71040s, what should you do today? The only way I can answer that is knowing your current situation. If you have the ability and the space to store your 71040s on the shelf for an extended amount of time, I would encourage you to hold on to them. We're going to watch the market today be very flooded with the old 71040, many of which are going to be selling it at a loss, maybe as low as $325 for those that are disappointed they invested in this Lego set. And I encourage that. So I'm going to take some of the blame there for encouraging people to invest in this Lego set. But again, like I always say, Lego investing does have a ton of risk. But you did invest in this set. Do you need to sell it? If you can break even and sell it at cost, and you're happy with that return, and you're like, sweet, I got out from under it and I can use that money to invest in other Lego sets, you might want to do that. But I think we could see this set start to trend upward over the next several years as collectors buy up the inventory that's on the secondary market. It will eventually become desirable, and when the new one does eventually retire, we could see both of them experience significant price jumps. If you're nervous about tying that many dollars up for 4 or 5 years till you see a significant return on the investment, then sell them now, okay? You can use, even at a loss, you can use that money to invest in other Lego sets this year that will have way better return on investment over the next couple years. But if you'd like to be patient and hold on to it, and like me, watch what happens. Because I don't have a crystal ball, I don't ultimately know. Could the 71040 get up to $700 by this Christmas? It could. If the market's flooded and investors and collectors buy up the other inventory, then they can control the market and hold on to it, and the demand might increase. I don't know how crazy Disney Lego collectors are. I don't know how many people are going to want both castles, but I do know that both sets are going to be incredible investments at some point. Only time will tell the returns that we find on each of them. Friends, I hope this video helps. I love to talk about Lego investing here on the Jake's Bricks YouTube channel. Again, like I always say, there's a lot of risk to investing because Lego re-releases incredible sets that I think are going to do great for investing. But if you have dollars to invest and hold in and tie up, it has been some of the most fun I've had as I've personally helped fund my Lego building hobby through Lego investing. If you have questions, let me know in the comments below. I hope this video helped. And as always, y'all, it's Jake from Jake's Bricks, signing off. We'll see you guys.